squirrels. Are they ready to have Macy get up and come play? What's my doggy doing? Did you have a good night-night? Alright. There we go. How's my doggy? Are you ready to go have a good morning? Go get some breakfast? You go get some sausage? I'm so glad you're out here with me.
When Macy and I came to the woods 10.5 weeks ago, we had no idea how long we would be here, and we still don't, technically. We're shooting for October 15th in hopes to make it that long before the first snows fall here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We've had a great time. We have learned so much. And as the day lengths begin to shorten more and more, and the sun wakes up later in the morning, we have a lot of things we got to get done, things to pack to ensure that we make the most use of the car when we get on the road to wherever we're going. And we also have things to set in place to leave behind, and things to prepare for next year so that we're ready when we show up. We've got some of the tools on the ground already. We don't have to go through that massive process that we've gone through the past 10 weeks of acquiring tools and cooking items and things like that to help us be able to survive out here. So our days still start early in the morning, as you can see, and we go from there. We go into Marquette. We typically post stuff on Facebook and medium.com. There are many times during the past 10.5 weeks that Macy and I have started our mornings either cooking by the fire or the Coleman stove, but there's also been a good many mornings where we just come into Marquette and we'll go to McDonald's. This McDonald's here in particular, there's one in the Walmart, we can go there too. The one in the Walmart has a great lady who will even have them cut the sausage in squares for Macy. They don't do that here, but they do a great job. They're so generous, so kind. If you are in Marquette and you're a blogger or a videographer, come to this McDonald's. The other great spot is the Bagel Cafe on 3rd Street. It's great. It's great. And it just shows the level of hospitality you get from the people of the Upper Peninsula. So I really recommend these two places, 3 places to go to if you got some blogging to do, if you need to do some video editing and then post to YouTube. These are the prime, wonderful places to do it in town that I've found so far. And then we're back out here at the woods to get what needs to still be done. So this is kind of the journal of all that happening. I hope you enjoy it. Please, after watching, like and subscribe to the channel. Also jump over to donaldjclaxton.medium.com/membership and become one of my $5 a month patrons over there. That really helps me earn revenue so I can keep doing things like this, keep making these videos, keep riding over there, and literally stay out here in the woods. Charger, battery storage right there, hooks to a USB into a USB-C cable into the unit, and it does great. I use that at night to charge my Apple Watch and iPhone, and then during the day I also have this now 100-watt solar panel, dual panels, and they soak up a lot more sun than that little thing. Nothing against the small one, but they do a much more aggressive job of capturing the sun rays, and in turn that helps juice up the flash Fish 300-watt charger. As you can see, we're getting near full capacity. It does a great job of running my CPAP at night. I can also charge computers off of it and that kind of thing. Keep it off for charging. And then I have my 2 AC outlets here on the back for you know, like the CPAP machine and computers, things that with a traditional wall plug. So great system to have here. Just amazing pieces of technology and advancement that have made being out in the woods a much easier enterprise than having to go sit somewhere for hours and hours waiting for these units to get charged up. Tent camping has taught me so much about living and things one must do to stay safe, and then the things that one must be able to do to respond to an emergency situation. Because we had a full-blown one yesterday, and I was the victim, and being the lone human out here, that also left me in a precarious position because I'm the one who's taking care of myself if something happens, and I'm the one who's trying to keep something from happening if it at all. So we were up on the hill, Macy and I had walked up there. We'd been up there for 2-3 hours working on getting clips and sticks together for the crosses that I'm beginning to make, and to have enough inventory on hand when we're forced to leave here for a while because of the snow. So I was just up there with my little pruning shears. I'd gone from the cranky kind to just a little hand kind. Had my glove on. And you know, they're not thick gloves, and I wear them more to keep from getting blisters and that kind of thing, splinters, that kind of thing. And so I'm just working away, and I'd had phone calls and texts, and Macy and I'd been playing. I'd taken a break or two. We each shared a package of Ritz peanut butter crackers, which we love, and things were going just fine. I have a pile up there of pine wood that's ready for working with and drying. I have a pile of maple, and I have a pile of oak, and in various lengths and sizes and diameters, and everything, like I said, was going great. Couldn't have been better until and if you don't do well with blood, you might want to skip for the next 30 seconds or so as I talk. But I had a stick in my left hand, I had the clippers in my right, and somehow I came at that sucker like this, and I was getting tired. I was telling myself, how much longer can I really keep doing this? And then it happened. And I saw it in slow motion. Like all that stuff happens in slow motion. And so I squeezed the calipers of them together, and the blades came across the branch, clipped it, and then clipped a portion out of my lower thumb here. And there's an artery right here. There's the cut right there, and then there's an artery or vein, one of the two, just going north and south of the cut. Didn't matter that I didn't hit them. I am on blood thinners because of heart issues, but this sucker bled, and bled. In totality, it bled for an hour and about 45 minutes. From the time I went to the time I got it enough pressure on it to keep it so Macy and I could put my backpack back on, gather up my walking stick, put a leash on her, and her lead me down the hill back here to the camp. And she still can't hop her bottom end into the car, so she'll put her front paws up, and then I just kind of reach under and lift to help her get a leg up, 2 legs up, and in she goes. So we drove into town. I had talked to a F&P friend of mine who said, you need to get some meds in that quick. It was still bleeding as I drove the 15-20 miles into the Walmart in Marquette, off this dirt road out here on 510. And I got to the Walmart. The pharmacy was still open, thank goodness. And I asked one of the people there, Garrett, what do I need? Where can I find these two things? And he said, yeah, but before you put any of that on that, you need to wash it out with a lot of soap and water, which I'd been told to. And so I told him that's where I was headed next, but I wanted to make sure they had the products that I was after. And so I went into the restroom there at the Walmart, proceeded to just let it lie, rested under the water, let it run through it, and then I was mashing on it in places because it looked like there was a spot that still was bright, dark, black, red, black. And so I kept trying to pull the skin back a little further to get it under the lip there where it had just sliced the skin into the epidermis. And yeah, so I had a pain. It didn't hurt like, but it was enough to get my attention. And so the first rule of a situation like that obviously is always to get some kind of clean material and apply direct pressure. So I had started with the direct pressure. When I started trying to make phone calls to somebody to say, hey, I've got an emergency situation. Do I need to go to the ER? Do I need to go to a doc in the box? Or can I fix this myself? And the answer to that question became, well, let me see what you're dealing with. So FaceTime did and kind of didn't work real well up there. Wound up taking some pictures, and even those were trying it for, of course, in a disaster, in an emergency situation, those weren't working, right? But they took a while, and they finally got through, and the person called back and said, yeah, it looks like it's pretty superficial. I do have a first aid kit. There's a sewing kit if I wanted to have done that, but not what I needed. Most of the time, this is sitting in the back of the car underneath the back panel in the rear, not even accessible. It's not going up the hill with me, and it's not going around in the woods with me. And I see now that's a foolish mistake. As you can see under the tent, I've got two big pieces of firewood that we need to use, and I need to get it into this fire pit here before we leave and see if I can't burn up some of that wood that's charred but not turned to ash. I also have this pile of maple to go through and cut it into little pieces so that I have enough for making crosses out of maple going through the winter. And we'll be able to use some of the smaller branches for kindling next year to start fires here or way up on there.
I'm only looking and cutting maple. Now you saw me cut a couple here, but those are, no, I'm cutting oak rather. But what you saw me do was cut down 3 or 4 pieces of dead maple. So it's not doing any good by standing. If I get it down on the ground now, it starts drying. You can come back next year and pick it up and use it for firewood. But what I'm trying to find is oak. And as you can see from the stand here, a lot of it is maple. And what I'm also looking at is all of these trees that are already growing sideways in here. They're not going to grow straight up ever again. And so all they're doing is fighting for air, literally, or sunlight that's being eclipsed by the taller trees. And they're just going to grow sideways until they fall over. Or the sun just, the leaves above them just choke them out because there's no sunlight coming down here. So that's why I'm only cutting certain trees, and then I'm clearing dead ones just because they're dead.
I'm getting closer to having a new page built on donaldjclaxton.com that's ready for hosting and selling crosses that are made out of wood that I've taken down from the land, balsam firs, maples, and oak. And so those are going to go on sale here real quick. They can be stained, they can be sealed so that they're not going to crack at the bottoms or do that kind of crazy stuff. And then we can work out postage on different sizes. So I'm looking forward to getting that done too. And I'm really looking forward to offering these to you at some very reasonable prices. Shipping is still a concern, but we're getting closer to being in business and making something that's worthwhile, and something I never would have dreamed would be an outcome of having taken this journey. You want to come? Come on, I know you do. What have you been into, Did you get Chip? Has he been trying to get your food, or did you get him? Did you hear those ducks a little while ago? They're flying south. There's going to be a lot of ducks in the next couple of weeks. They're going to be going right over our heads, going quack, 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 quack. You want some more cracker? I know you do. Here you go. When Daddy finishes, I'm gonna go over there and get some wood, okay? Ah! Here you go. Hey. Up here. Are you gonna come with me over there, or are you gonna stay here?
They sure are messy, huh? Hey, I got some right here. There's none in the bucket. It's just a wrapper. You gonna lick the wrapper? You are going to lick the wrapper. Huh? Okay. One more. Let Daddy get a bite. Alright, there you go. Hey, look. Chandler sees this, she's gonna call you spoiled. Mm-hmm. Was that a good lunch? A good snack for lunch? There's still some crackers down there. Macy, you smell like a dog. You smell like a doggy. What am I going to do about that, huh? You need some booty scratch? Oh my goodness, what a good doggy. What are you doing? Where's my squeaky ball? Where did Squeaky go? Well, those birds are chirping about something this morning, aren't they? Okay. Don't think I need anything out of here. Need these. Macy, have you heard the bear today? Huh? Because I'm going to go right over there where he likes to poke out. Since my careless act of stupidity a couple weeks ago, when we were up on the hill and I had been pruning trees, thin ones, for it to take home or take with us on the road, I had on my glove and I was using these shears, which I'd been using for hours. I was getting tired. I should have stopped before I got to this point, but I took that thing and I went and I had my glove on, and even with the glove on, blood started going everywhere and it was a mess. So my good friend Joel Porter said, "Oh, I should have told you about this stuff earlier." My mom later said, "You know, we should have known, you, I, and her, and everybody else should have known about this stuff." But it's called BleedStop. BleedStop. You can buy a box of it. I believe it's $15 on Amazon. I don't have it set up right now for the affiliate program, so I'm not making any money off of telling you this. They are not endorsing me, sponsoring this video or anything else. But the box comes with 4 packets, and because of some issues with my tinker in here over the years, I'm on blood thinners. So when I went, it went everywhere, and that was a bad thing. But there's a vein there, and there's a vein there, or there's an artery there, and there's an artery there, and they're just as pretty and dark blue as they can be. If I had gone deeper and cut one of those, oh,
that wouldn't have caused me to bleed out, but if I'd gotten one of my arteries in here or in my femur, my femoral artery, it would have been over. Macy would have come down the hill. Maybe she'd gone out to the road like she did last week and just sat down in it waiting for me to come back out here. But that would have been the end of me. I might have been able to call for help, but I would have bled out before anybody got way out here. So the idea with BleedStop, it's the packaging is upside down, so you got to actually rotate it. But the idea is you got a minor cut to a major wound. They say this is used in hospitals by first responders, a first aid necessity, safe in the wound, and it can be used to keep your children and family safe. It is FDA cleared for over-the-counter use to the public. The FDA also cleared BleedStop for severe bleeding wounds by RX prescription. So there's 15 grams in here, and if you got of blood going on, you somehow rip the packet open and you just pour the contents of this package on the bleeding. And what it's supposed to do is cause some severe coagulation of your blood, shut it down, give you a chance of not dying. You pour it in the wound, and then of course, as you always do with an injury like I did that day, I got me a clean towel, wash rag, something, and I mashed the stew out of this thing for the longest time. Since then, I've also gotten some emergency thermal blankets. It came in a pack of 5 from Amazon, made by Surviveware. You retain 90% of your body heat. They're waterproof, windproof, compact, and lightweight. You can use them to build your own structure. They're durable, and if you should like, and you can wad it up and get it back into the package like that, it's reusable. And you're bleeding and blood's going everywhere, and you're starting to go into shock, and you're getting freezing cold, or it is freezing cold. You're not going to care what size or color it is, just so long as it keeps you warm. And so, again, one of these is going in my kind of like a day pack. It's not really even one of those. It's in one bag, and then it's going in the same important compartment on top of the other bag. Yeah. So yeah, I've since, after that day, I could not find for anything this pair of shears, so I bought another pair. So I have 2 pair of these now, bought from Walmart. They were like $5.50, pretty good deal. They're very sharp, I can testify to that. Today I do need, before I use my chainsaw again, I need to do some serious sharpening on it, and I intend to do some more cutting before we leave. Today is September 15th. I'm hoping we can survive out here another month, at least, with no snow. After 10-15, the way the weather patterns are right now, all bets are off. All bets are off, really. Are we going to even make it to the 15th of October? But one of the things I discovered yesterday working against us is the fact that back in July, when I was packing up what I needed to take out here in the woods with us, I remembered my nice black wool pea coat that has white fur on it from some hairy dog, I guess. And then I brought the little kind of thermal one that's like it feels like I'm in Back to the Future. This one's blue, not orange, and I feel like I'm Marty, and people should be asking why I'm wearing a life preserver. But it being blue, I guess they're disinclined to do that. But the point is I didn't bring a parka. And up here, I mean, parka is like having your skin on your body.
when it gets cold. And even that's not warm enough because you'll be layered with other stuff to help keep you warm underneath it. So should it snow between now and October 15th, I'm gonna be cold. That's the best way I'm able to probably even say it. We have our great, wonderful tent, but it is not a hot tent. I have not been able to make a lean-to like I've wanted to. There's just a lot of things that I have the mental capacity to say, hey, I need to do that. But then when it comes to getting the muscles and might behind it to make something happen, I don't. Or I can go in spurts. So I still don't have a comfortable place to sit down even up on top of the hill. And that's not a good thing. I should have made something a long time ago, but I haven't. I hadn't had the time. I've been cutting my hand. So I need to take the files, and I just don't think I'm going to take the files up there. There's gas up there, and there's lubricating oil for the chainsaw, but the blade I want down here, or the chain I want down here to use the files on to sharpen. I just rather do that down here. I can sit, I can be a little bit more comfortable, I can take a little bit more time with it and not be as risk prone because it's starting to not cut like it should. There's big chunks and there's even a few burn marks on the top levels of the chain as it goes round. And that's not a good thing. So I think what I'm about to do is go up the hill, come back with the chainsaw, and work on it down here. I think that's the most favorable, intelligent idea yet. BleedStop. You want this stuff if you're doing anything. If you're on blood thinners, your mom or your dad's on blood thinners, your Uncle Tom is on blood thinners, Uncle Richard, Uncle Sam, Uncle whomever, Aunt Joe, Aunt Linda, all of them. You want to, this can even be used as a Christmas gift, if in my mind. But you know, you don't want to wait. It's September, middle of September. You don't want to wait till Christmas to send, end of the year, to send somebody who this may just save their life between now and then. Of course, there's, you know, going to the ER is still the best thing to do. Calling 911 is still the best thing to do. But if something is been clipped and it's bleeding profusely, I'm told this is the stuff to have. So I hope I don't ever have to find out or put it to the test. But I'm even happier and more comfortable to know that I've got it in case I do. I can't tell you how happy it makes me that Macy's wandered so far away from her spots up here by the camp. She's been clearly out there marking her territory. Her and the chipmunks have been really getting into it lately. She's barking again, but I don't think it's at a bear. I think she's barking at chipmunks. And I know there's several that run around down where she is now. And so I'm glad that's happening. And it's getting late in the day. I guess you really can't tell that until you look that way and you can see clearly the sun is setting and it's a nice color. 99% of what's out here is still just as green gets. And that's okay. But it's the wind, the weather is changing. You can feel it. The way it's been so rainy the past few days has really been, just makes it hard to get anything done outside. And this is the time when I need to be getting a lot of stuff done. So I've spent 90% of most of the waking day out here. We were in town for 2 hours. And
you can hear. There is no noise out here, but for the birds, those are chipmunks somewhere over there. Macy has never, in the whole time we've been here, ever decided to perch down here, which is interesting. And now she's acting like she's a goat. So anyway, that's where we are at the end of the day. It's been a good day. I went up the hill, got some stuff to fix before I go back up the hill and do some more work. We have a family of deer, or did, back up in here. I don't know if they're still coming around or not. Macy's barked a couple times, and I don't know at what. If she's barked at the chipmunk several times, and then of course we've seen the bear come out. Well, there was a bear one day. There was one almost where she is now, and then the other time it came out up there in that little brown patch that you can see. So interesting places to keep an eye on, and still I've got some mess to clean up from the ransacking that happened out here. But season's coming to change here. A couple days is fall, and there's more rain and cooler nights coming toward the end of the week. So won't be long before all this green is gone and it'll be just on fire, but it's not happened yet. In many ways, there's a pre-Doppler effect that happens out here. Doppler effect really is when a jet plane or an object goes shooting past you, and it's well off in this direction past you, and the sound of it is back in here trying to keep up with the craft that's moving. What happens out here in the woods is you start hearing far off this rumble. It sounds like a million galloping horses or something. And it sounds like a wave from the ocean. And it's the wind moving across the tops of the deciduous trees. And you can hear it from a good, I don't know how far off, I would assume a good mile off sometimes when it's quiet. And it's just this incredible wave. And I can hear the next one coming. And it's this beautiful effect from being out here. And the only place I've experienced it anywhere else in the United States is nowhere. Yosemite's too quiet up there. And this is one of the most relaxing sounds I think I've ever heard in my life. And it's being back here now at my age and being able to hear it again really has awoken new parts of me that got shut off when I was 12 and we left so many years ago. So I have a video ready that says here's why I haven't been publishing these as much as I was at the same pace as I was when we first got here. Those have largely been technical issues, too tedious to bore you with. Suffice to say, I'm trying to do this better type of video, maybe not as frequently, but much more involved, cutting, slicing, changing the sizes of it, making it more dynamic, adding the music to try to make it more pleasant experience rather than just me talking all the time. And I hope you've liked this video. I hope you will come back. I hope you will hit the subscribe button. Maybe even ring the bell so that when I post the next one like this, you'll know immediately. You'll get a text or a notification on your devices. And please don't forget to go to donaldjclaxton.medium.com/membership
For $5 a month, you can read as many of my posts on medium.com as you should like. It also gives you the opportunity to become a writer and publish your own thoughts on any subject you can imagine. There's people around the world doing this. Millions of them are on Medium, posting daily on any topic you can imagine. And all it takes to belong into that community is $5 a month. And because you register through donaldjclaxton.medium.com/membership, I get a portion of that $5 a month. That helps me make income. It costs a lot to come out here and be doing this. I can't even begin to explain to you how expensive it's been, how much more expensive it's been, how much more expensive it is than the other guys and gals on YouTube who are doing similar things will tell you. It costs some change. And so by supporting the channel, by clicking the like button on this video, by reading my materials and becoming a member of medium.com, you help me pay for all of this and be able to stay out here and do this. Now, obviously, with the change in the weather, and you can see some of the leaves are changing, we're not gonna be able to stay out here much longer. I'm shooting for at least October 15th, that it hasn't snowed by then. And even if it snowed by then, I'm still not quite in a rush to get out of here. Macy and I both are gonna be very, very sad and sick about loading everything up in the car and leaving here, because we have enjoyed this so much. There's one other thing I need to do. Yesterday, I got in the mail from my Amazon wish list, some patron, fellow viewer out there decided that on my wish list I had put a wood carving kit. This one is made by Beavercraft. I think they're over in Europe actually. And it's got 3 different knives. It's got a sharpening stone and a leather strop and this beautiful leather case to keep it in. And I can't thank you, whoever sent this to me, enough for your generosity and support. This is just a wonderful tool, wonderful set of tools that I'm going to use for many years to come. And people are going to benefit from me having this, because I'm going to be making wood products for them to keep and enjoy and share with their family for many years to come as well. So thank you very much. Thank you all for the support you give to me and for being out here. Another friend on Facebook told me that these videos and the posts this summer have been an inspiration to many. And that just really warms my heart on a day when it's 60 degrees and the wind's blowing pretty darn hard. Say it's warm out here would be an exaggeration. Yesterday it was 79. Today the high is 60. So anyway, I'm loving it. Macy's loving being out here. This is so good for the health of both of us. And there's some surprises coming too. So stay tuned. Make sure those buttons are checked and clicked, and the membership link, please follow that. And we'll be back with another video very, very soon. Thanks for watching.